This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And hey, did you hear free dining is back? That's right. If you book by August 27th, 2011 for select nights from between August 28th, 2011 and September 24th, 2011, you can get free dining, and Disney's also throwing in a free photo pass book as well. That's right. There's
nice.
It's a great deal. Check them out. There's lots of different options. Of course, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you book it. And if you book with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, you get the free dining, right? Cool. Okay. But here's something that you get on top of that just for booking with Mouse Fan Travel. They're going to throw in a free subscription to touringplans.com and their Lines app for free if you book 5 or more nights in a moderate, deluxe, or villa. That's right, a one subscription for free. So you're going to go to Disney anyway. You want to take advantage of the free dining, and you'll get the touring plans subscription for free. Awesome. Check them out right now at mousefantravel.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Wednesday, May 11th, 2011, and this is episode 875 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for AllEars.net. Welcome, Mike.
It's fueled by solid hydrogen and can accelerate from 0 to 6,060 seconds. So when you hear the words, go for launch, you'll definitely want to hold on.
Gary Sinise, Mission Space.
Yes. Botox, baby.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. And Mike, I can almost smell Star Wars weekends.
Is that what that is?
Can you smell the Star Wars weekend?
I can smell the Wookiees from here.
Yes, I can't wait. And of course, we should mention, Mike, that WDW Today will have live coverage of the press event surrounding Star Tours, which is, of course, also opening on May 20th as well. So that coincides with the launch of Star Wars Weekend. So we'll have lots of information about that on our website.
It's going to be a busy week.
Absolutely. And joining us once again for today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome back to the show, Annette.
Hey, I like coming 2 times in a row. That's kind of cool. I'm leaving town today, so sorry. Won't be on for the next week.
Where are you going now?
I'm going cruising. Why do you think that cruise show was appropriate? I'm going cruising.
Perfect timing then.
Mike, I'm quitting my job. I'm taking whatever Annette's job is title is. That's what I want to do with my life.
You read it all the time. That's my title.
It's Wednesday, and we are answering your listener questions. That's right. We don't take cruise vacations. We do, but still answer your listener questions.
Even while on the cruise, we
That's
answer questions.
First email is from Gia. Just want to let your listener know that I bought Disney Parks music in January at DisneyStore.com. Seem to have it on and off, so if she doesn't see it, keep checking back. Currently, they have 2 sets that I bought. 4 Parks, 1 World, 2 CD set for $25. I think that this is the one that you can find in the parks. And WDW Music 5 disc CD box set for $60. They currently have a third that I hadn't seen there before, Magic Kingdom Event Party Music CD for $25. In addition, there is a Sherman Brothers Songbook 2 CD set that has some of the park music for $17 on Amazon.com. It has other music too, some are from Disney movies, etc. I just wanted your listener to know that there is Disney Park music out there that doesn't cost $100 for 1 CD on eBay. Very good. Thank you, Gia. Next email is from David from Kingwood, Texas. We just returned from our mid-June annual school trip to the world with 16 teenagers.
Huh?
Your life's not so bad anymore, huh?
What?
You always complain to have to take like 3 or 4 teenagers.
Oh, I always have 3 or 4 teenagers here all the time. No big deal.
We were all terribly disappointed in the lack of Phineas and Ferb merchandise. The show is a huge hit with high school kids. Seriously, we even listened to the CD on the way there several times. All that we could find was a red or blue child's t-shirt. I will say about that, they are adding, I've seen now, a lot of Phineas and Ferb merchandise in the Muppet store, which is the Stage 1 company store, technically.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you can find a lot of Phineas and Ferb merchandise in that store.
Ooh. Sorry.
We drove for the first time in years, and it was awesome to have the van there. After 2 days, I couldn't have faced the food court at Scopa Towers one more time. For a few dollars less, I drove to fast food off property and got a good meal. I downloaded the GPS WDW directions from mousesavers.com, and that was wonderful. Sometimes I'll pull up directions from Houston to Magic Kingdom just for the fun of it. The green building of the 80s at Pop Century first floor was being remodeled. We witnessed a fight between a man and a woman on the construction team, non-Disney cast members, that carried over into the parking lot as the man got into the construction company van with her screaming at him and then backed into one truck and hit another car. Several baggage claims. And a few adults witnessed it. Not sure if it was the cause, but the construction company was gone the next day. Very good. Thanks for the report.
Wow.
Nick.
Excitement.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Next email is from Nikki from Percy, Pennsylvania. Thank you for the pronunciation guide, Nikki. Hello, gentlemen and lady, if applicable. Here's the situation. My fiance and I will be honeymooning in Walt Disney World in August 2011. We're not sure how long we're staying. I'm a teacher, and I'm not sure when the school year is going to start. But we should be arriving August 21st, which will be a Sunday, and we're going to be staying at the Beach Club Village using my parents' DVC points. So here's my first question. If you're staying on DVC points, can you get the free dining promotion? If not, yes or no?
No, you can't. DVC members don't get free dining. They would have to pay for it.
If not, which you can't, we weren't planning on getting it, but any money we could save would be a help. Anyway, the real dilemma, where to eat? My fiance and I could fall into the picky eaters category. Neither of us eat seafood or lamb. We also don't drink wine or beer. I don't like to order red meat or pork at restaurants, though if it sounds appetizing enough, I've done so, but it's very rare. My fiance, on the other hand, is a red meat and potatoes kind of guy. This also means that he doesn't like veggies. He also doesn't like any sauces and is allergic to peanuts. We have only been to 2 restaurants so far, Le Cellier and Hoop-de-Doo Review. That's only Hoop-de-Doo. That's only because I'm already taking control in the relationship and making the decisions known.
Good for her.
Where else can we eat with all those limitations and still have a semi-romantic meal? All right, guys. So she's picky. He's a meat and potatoes kind of guy. Where can they eat at Walt Disney World that has some semblance of romance, if you will? Yeah, you know, one restaurant that actually isn't bad in terms of that is the Turf Club at Saratoga Springs. They've got steak on the menu. Yeah. Got pasta. They got some really, I want to say basic fare. It's not like anything too adventurous on anything. I mean, the steak, you can get just a plain old, steak there. You can get, they have onion rings. It's pretty standard fare. So that's a great restaurant to choose from. So that's one recommendation I have.
What about the Liberty Tree Tavern?
It's another good one. That's all meat. It's just, but meat and a few sides there. And I know that AJ from the Disney Food Blog loves it. I'm not as huge a fan of it, but I will. I
find it a little bland. But for a picky eater, that might be right up their alley.
Absolutely, you're right about that, Mike. And where do you go with your kids?
Well, but my kids eat kids' meals, so they're not picky eaters. They just eat chicken fingers everywhere. So, as teenagers, I was going to say that if you look at the menus, go to Deb's site, look at the dining at allears.net, and look at the dining. And the key thing is to make your dining reservations and then go on and put those dining requests in so that they know peanut allergies and some of the other stuff. So then the chef has an idea of what's coming with that reservation, because that's a lot better than going to a counter service location and going, well, we need this taken off, that taken off. So, but for picky eaters, I've got to say, if it's steak and potatoes, you got to think your steak restaurants. Chico's, I know you can get that steak without the sauce on it, with the mac and cheese.
It's so good, though.
It's very, very good. Oh, I know. But, if you don't want the sauce, you don't want the sauce. You can always ask for it on the side. But also, like Yachtsman, I know it's, we've all had our different opinions on that one, but I've got to say that's meat and potato. And, they definitely, I've been there with people that were very picky and very particular about how their food was prepared. And I've got to say the chefs there did a great job.
We keep saying this over and over again, and I got to put in a plug. I think that Kona is very underrated as a place to go for a good meat entree. And I got to just say that, if you're really looking for something along the line of something similar to a Scopa Special, I really think Kona is a place to go. It's not going to cost as much. Romantic wise, it may not be the best, but I think it's a great place to go if you want a nice strip steak. I'm not sure if they have teriyaki steak tips anymore, but it's a great place to go. So I like to put in a plug for Kona.
Very good. I was just going to ask you, Mike, what your favorite steak place right now, so that answers that question. Nikki also writes another question what are some activities that you recommend for a honeymooning couple? I've been in Walt Disney World over 20 times in my life. My fiance has been there 4 times in the past 3 years. We're looking for some unique experiences that are on the slightly less expensive side. Thanks for all your help. Love the show. I've been listening since episode 238, and I still find myself refreshing the podcast, still waiting for the next episode.
So what's odd about that request? Let me see. Activities for a honeymoon couple.
That are less on the expensive side.
Okay, Lynn recommends a romantic walk around the All-Star Resorts.
I was going to say what I did for my honeymoon that Nikki might enjoy. You mentioned Hoop-de-Doo. We went to Fort Wilderness. We first did Hoop-de-Doo.
Hoop-de-Doo.
We did a carriage ride, which was at the time it was about $60, which isn't bad. They take you through the woods of Fort Wilderness. If you want, the guy can talk to you. If not, you can have him just shut up and just.
How do you have him shut up?
You say,
it's $20. Shut up.
He asked, do you want me to talk or do you want to just enjoy the ride? We're like, yeah, well, you could talk. And it's very, very nice, very romantic.
Chili pepperinos.
And then
Rusty.
Wow.
And then we ended the night at Hoop-de-Doo. And if you want to Hoop-de-Doo right, especially as a honeymoon couple, go for category 1. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, they'll pick on you too.
Absolutely, that's the whole point.
There's nothing wrong with there are little swing sets on the Polynesian beach, and sitting there and watching wishes, that could be kind of nice to do. It's not going to cost you.
I was going to say that, Scopa, because I was going to say go to Kona, get your meal, and then walk out and sit on the swing sets.
Yep.
And call Newell and have him play, wishes while.
I only did that one time. One time.
I did it for you. I'm not complaining.
I know.
I did it for you.
I know. Seem like I call you every day, Mike. I want to hear this right now. But Mindy wants to hear a Small World. Enough of her. Just play it.
That's true. Mindy, get your own CD.
Next email is from Bert, who writes,
Bert.
In reference to the Port Orleans French Quarter beer, Abita is a great microbrew from Louisiana, available in Port Orleans French Quarter's Scat Cats Bar. We sucked it down like mother's milk last March while listening to Elliot Dyson. The pool bar at Port Orleans French Quarter also has a great selection of beers: Red Stripe, Sierra Pale Ale, etc. Actually, that selection of beer you just mentioned, Red Stripe Pale Ale, Sierra Pale Ale, I think is a standard issue now Disney has a standard brew selection now at almost all the bars. It's not bad. It's not just Bud and Bud Light, but they'll have a couple different options for you to choose from. Also, on a previous show, I heard asked if the Illuminations had ever been run twice per night. We were at Epcot for New Year's Eve in 2002. They ran it twice that night at 8 p.m. and midnight. We were in Le Soleil for the first show, and it began to rain with such ferocity that we bailed and went home. Managed to miss them both. Cool. Thank you, Bert. Thanks, Bert. Next email.
Thanks, Bert.
Ernie.
That's really good.
I knew it was coming.
Do that, Ernie. Please don't.
That was really. In all these years, I never heard you do the Bert impersonation.
Because I usually do my Crazy Larry. Now.
That's true. No one asked for Bert from Sesame Street.
No one has ever asked.
Hey, Bert.
Read the next question, Ernie.
Okay, Bert.
It's all about America.
Oh my gosh.
Forever? I do that in regular conversation with people. They'll say something, they'll go forever. I go, forever?
Forever?
And you're wondering why they look at you funny.
Hey, let's get on with the show.
Next email is from Tom from Chesterfield, Virginia. My wife and I recently booked our family vacation to Walt Disney World, which we will be staying from October 1st to October 8th. We have 3 children, age 8, boy, 4, girl, and 2, boy, who will be 3 the week after we leave. We have 6-day base tickets. All right, so they've got 3 kids and a 6-day base tickets for all of them. I originally figured 2 days at Magic Kingdom, 2 days at Epcot, 1 for Animal Kingdom, 1 for Hollywood Studios due to their sizes. The more I create a personalized touring plan at touringplans.com, I'm beginning to rethink the 2 days at Epcot instead 2 days at Hollywood Studios. I think it would prove difficult to ride all of Hollywood Studios rides and see the shows my kids want to see, 95% of them, plus get to see Fantasmic early enough to get the seats that I want. So what advice do you guys have? How would you split up your 6 days? I considered getting the park hopper option, but would rather use the $200 in cost on games and souvenirs for our kids. This is our first trip to Disney World, and we want to enjoy ourselves without the pressures of rushing around to, quote, see everything. This vacation is for my kids, so I am wrong to think we can tour Epcot in one day, concentrating primarily on child attractions and shows. I agree with Tom here. I think especially because they wanted to specialize for the kids. 2 days in Hollywood Studios, although I am quite very biased on it. I think is a better option. And for the exact reason he mentioned, the show schedule is difficult to work in. And October, especially early October, the park hours are somewhat limited. You're looking at probably 7, 8 o'clock p.m. closing times. And if you can combine a day of non-Fantasmic and a day with Fantasmic, you're going to be able to really do it all and be sane about it. Because, you've heard on the show many, many times, Tom, I'm sure, the problems with trying to see Fantasmic and the crowds that Fantasmic brings. And there is a night and day difference between a day in Hollywood Studios where there is Fantasmic and not. So between those 2 days and the show schedule, I would totally agree with that. Now, whether or not I would take that day from the Magic Kingdom or Epcot, I would lean towards Epcot for the reasons you just mentioned in your email, Tom. Scopa, what's your opinion on this? You're a big planner kind of guy. What would your recommendation to Tom and his family?
Well, I'm going through now. I'm actually jotting down some notes, Matt. I think that I would recommend that they break up the day. I think that they should break up the 6 days into 12 half days. And I think that they need to take a look at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios on the first day.
Well, hang on, Mike. He said he didn't want to do the park hopper.
Oh, he didn't want to do the park hopper.
He wants to save the money.
Okay. So first day, I would take the children to Magic Kingdom. Gauge their experience, what their reactions are. Second day, I would go to Hollywood Studios, gauge their reaction. Third day, I would take them to Epcot, gauge their reaction there, and that would be the only day I'd take them to Epcot. And then I would just repeat the next. I would repeat 1, 2, 3 again. I don't think that children of that age would enjoy Epcot as much. So I'm thinking that they would prefer Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. So that's how I would do.
Okay, so you're saying even a little bit of an audible there after the first 3 days.
Yes. Oh yeah. Definitely doing an audible. Yeah.
Annette?
I'm going to toss this in there just because I've done this with my kids throughout the years. Sometimes going to Magic Kingdom first makes it really hard to go to other parks with younger kids. And didn't you say the oldest one was 8? Might not be a bad idea to maybe think about Epcot first, because they'll be more, it's their first experience and they're not looking for rides everywhere.
Right.
And they're not looking for the castle and they're not looking for the, all the characters and stuff. And they'll get more out of it than if you go to Magic Kingdom and then go to Epcot.
Scopa, this is something that I mentioned, no park hoppers, but this might actually play a little bit into what you were recommending at the first.
What's up?
Tom writes, I wanted to add that we're staying on property so we can utilize the extra magic hours. I'd love to hear your advice on the subject. Should we take advantage of the extra magic hours or stay away from those parks?
Again, the children, they have to realize that. Did he mention this is their first trip with the kids?
I think that's what he wrote in there.
Overload, sounds, sights, colors, music, characters, attractions, food, all kinds of stuff comes into play here. And after the first 3 days, Bob Salinger used to tell me that there's a 72-hour wall that hits people the first time they go to Walt Disney World. They don't realize it, but after the first 72 hours, boom, it hits you. So I think that the extra magic hours are probably best to do early on. I would say that the extra magic early morning hours is what they should concentrate on to get as much as they can during the day, because I think what's going to happen is that towards the end of the day, the kids are going to conk out, and they're lucky if they can make it to the parades at night at the Magic Kingdom and maybe Fantasmic. So my suggestion would be to try the extra magic hours, the early morning ones, and not even worry about the nighttime ones.
Cool. Next email from Susan, who writes that we're planning our first Disney World trip. Well, we've been there before, but never stayed in the parks, and it's been 15 years or so since the last visit, for December 10th to the 15th. We have a 3-year-old son. He'll be almost 4 when we go. And we're trying to choose between the Polynesian and Bay Lake Tower Studio. Cost is almost identical with the free dining plan. It looks like Bay Lake would be better for us, my husband and I, simply because it's newer, but room size and lack of fun theme worries me. The Polynesian rooms just look so ugly and old. Did I mention ugly? We're used to staying at very nice resorts for the money. The Disney rooms look wildly subpar. I know it's not about the hotel room, but it is galling to pay these prices and then read about shabby furniture, lackluster housekeeping, and poor service. Allears.net forums. Don't know when or if we'll ever go again, so I don't want this to be special, but not too special that we can't afford it. So what's your advice? So what do you guys think? Polynesian with the with the rooms that Susan considers ugly, or the newer contemporary rooms? Bay Lake Tower. I think, based on what this email, based purely on this email, Susan, I think you're a Bay Lake Tower kind of girl. I think you would
She
really.
kind of made that. It almost sounds like she's already made that decision.
Yeah, don't. I mean, yeah, the theme isn't as nice, but one, you're so close you could go over there and you eat at their restaurants all the time. Just hop on the monorail. It's that easy. Two, you don't want to be saying, "Oh man, this room really stinks." If the room is that important to you, if the room is that important to you, which it sounds like it is, go for the room that makes you happy. And that's why I go for that. I mean, Annette, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it does. It sounds like the way she's saying it, she doesn't like the feel of the room at the Poly. So, you're spending that money and you are going to be in that room sleeping. You want to be comfortable. So, I think you can get around on the monorail and go to the other resorts and experience some of that. I think maybe stay with Bay Lake.
Okay. Scopa, you agree?
Actually, I was thinking, I was looking at prices. I deferred it to Annette on this, but Annette, are the Bay Lake Tower cash rates less than the Polynesian?
It depends on the season. Sometimes you can find a studio for a little less than a garden room at the Poly. It all depends.
So it comes down to what's important to you. I think that price-wise means a lot to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people like the idea. I know that the very first time I stayed at the Contemporary 1990, it was kind of cool to be able to walk to the Magic Kingdom. I think a lot of people like that. But, for theming, I don't think you can beat the Polynesian. I mean, just walking around there at night. I know I love running in the morning around there. It's just really, really something. And if someone said to me, you could pick any resort you want, I think I'd really pick Polynesian. I think that every resort is going to have a room here and there that's going to need some refurbishing. You can't, hit a home run every time, but you try your best. So it's really a tough call. It depends upon what you value the most, and if you realize that you're not going to spend a lot of time in the room, then here's the thing though. If your argument is that, well, you're not going to spend a lot of time in the room, then you can make that same argument for the Bay Lake Towers. I mean, you can make that argument for any deluxe resort room. If that's the case, if you're worried about that and you're worried about spending money for a room that you're only going to sleep in, then maybe you should be looking at a moderate instead of a deluxe.
All right. Next email is from Tanya. We're planning our first family trip to Walt Disney World this February. My husband and myself, our kids, who will be celebrating their 3rd and 5th birthdays, and my mother. We're going to spend 2 days at Magic Kingdom, followed by a week on the Disney Magic. I just recently discovered your podcast thanks to the recommendation from the unofficial guide, and I'm loving them. There are many things about your podcast I enjoy, but at the start of every episode, I'm holding my breath for Scopa's introduction, followed by his famous quote quiz. So much fun to include a little trivia. Any chance you might have a show one day featuring a Scopa best of quiz?
Yeah.
That's an idea.
It's not a bad idea.
There you go.
A whole show of Scopa.
That means we get the night off.
I know. I'm kind of liking that.
Well, I think she wants us to guess at the answers to it.
Oh, we have to be there.
Mike has to
we
find
have
it
to.
all.
We have to guess for 30, 20 minutes.
Not such a good idea.
I know. It will show how not smart we are.
It's not a bad idea. Scopa, when you have some free time, next business trip you're taking and you got some time, come up with your top 10. Maybe we'll do a show about it.
Okay.
Next email is from Chris from Norwich, United Kingdom. Greetings from across the pond. I hope the colonies are well.
Hello, Governor.
Just a quick question about Toy Story Midway Mania. Before we traveled to Walt Disney World last year, we listened to your show recorded about hints and tips for the ride and how to get the best score by working together. Now
That was the Matt Solo show.
That wasn't, yes. Now that Bo Peep's balloon pop has been replaced, can you enlighten me to your avid listeners as to the tips and hints for this game? We're in the world on September 15th for 2 weeks. If any of you find folk around there, it'd be an honor for me to buy you a Dole Whip or any other tasty treat.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, so what happened was actually, as he mentioned, Disney switched out, it's been over a year now, I think, in conjunction with Toy Story 3.
So this is email.
Shut up, Mike. So yeah, they switched out some of the scenes to make it a little more relevant to Toy Story 3. And one of the things they did was they took out the Bo Peep's balloon pop, get it like ba. And they added a new scene to that scene to replace it, and that's the Rex and Trixie's Dino Darts. And my best recommendation for this one, this is one that really anyone can do. You don't need two people. You can do one person. But if you're looking at it, there's a volcano and there are lava flows. And if you break all 6 balloons that are on the lava flows, the volcano will erupt with balloons that are worth 500 points each. So that's definitely the big trick for that round. And after that, you go about shooting anything you can. But that's definitely the trick right there for Rex and Trixie's Dino Darts. And it's a lot of fun, so have fun. All right, kids, time for our last question of the day. And that means I'll give Mr. Newell, I should say, 3 emails to choose from. One gets right today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Are you ready, Mike?
Suck it to me.
Suck it to me?
Suck it to me.
I'm a crook.
Very interesting.
Did you know that line was said at the Contemporary?
Was it really?
It sure was.
Oh, a little trivia there.
He's at the Contemporary Resort. And
it's
he
like
was asked that question.
The contemporary quote.
Suck it to me? All right, Mike. We have a little theme going for you today, Mike.
Uh-oh.
Your theme is the 3 of us. So each email is about one of us.
Uh-oh.
So your options
I know
are.
I'm picking
So
already.
I can leave.
Your options are an assignment for Mike Scopa,
Ooh.
a predicament that Mr. Newell will definitely understand.
Ooh.
Matt, look out! I'm catching you.
Huh. You know what? I'm going to beat myself up today. Let's go with that.
Yay! I get the night off.
Bye, guys.
Last email today is from Bob Lee, aka Band Bob on WDW.com.
Hello, Bob.
From Pratt, Kansas. Hello to the Fab Four and the Fabulous One.
I love Kansas.
I'm a longtime listener. Missed the
Not in
first
Kansas anymore.
missed the first 8 episodes, but haven't missed one since. Dude, if you missed 8, just forget about it. Leave.
I've missed more than that.
He missed the first 8.
I wasn't even here. Okay.
First, thanks to all of you who spread the Disney magic to all of us. Go ahead and insert any of their usual props and shameless self-promotion plugs here. I've got a dilemma that I'm hoping the esteemed panel of Disney experts could help me with. Here's a little background information. My wife isn't a true penny pincher, but she always loves the bargain. I've always joked that I could buy anything if I had a coupon for it or it's on sale. Through the 20 years of marriage that we've had, I seem to have acquired the same trait. We have challenges with each other when we go to the grocery store to see who can have the greatest % discount listed at the bottom of the receipt. Needless to say, I now hate to pay full price for anything. We're both teachers. Our school year always starts mid-August and will run through the end of May. So we can only travel to Walt Disney World during peak and high seasons. We are very dedicated to our profession, so we refuse to take time away from the school kids or take our own kids out of school just to save money on family. It's fun time. All the published Disney savings or promotions seem to match the exact dates we're in school. I think you can see where I'm going with this. It's absolutely kills us to feel like we have to pay premium to go to Walt Disney World, and we become very jealous of those who get to go to Walt Disney World during the off season because they have to get to save a boatload of money, and we can't because we love working with our kids. So being from Kansas, we're only able to go to Walt Disney World every 4 or 5 years for 5 to 7 days, so any annual pass discounts wouldn't help. So all that said, my question is this. What can we do traveling at the times we must travel to feel like we're getting the best deal possible with some kind of discount on that premium price, or feel like we aren't paying full price and saving some money? Are there any options out there to help us get over that guilt we feel of paying the premium price for our Disney trip? That's a great question. Annette, I know since you're someone who deals with, the discounts better than anybody of all of us in terms of, the typical annual discounts we're talking about here that Disney throws out there. I mean, of all the times that someone could get off for vacation, which would be for teachers. So we're talking summertime, by some off chance if your answer happens to be Easter week, Christmas week.
I go summer before I go Easter, but okay.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that as options. It has to be thrown out there.
There are definite. I mean, there was definitely some specials that were room discounts, not for annual pass holders, but just general room discounts for the summer. Disney does throw those out there for June, July, depending on when you start school. We have seen some early August specials that come out, and I got to throw this one out. Swan and Dolphin are part of Starwoods, and they have teacher discounts. So you can get a teacher discount at Starwoods at the Swan and Dolphin hotels. So on Disney property, just not a Disney resort.
Yeah, their school year runs mid-August through May, the end of May. So basically June through mid-August is their summer. Yeah, I think summer's probably going to be your best option. I mean, Christmas. Okay, that was a good joke. Easter, like Annette said, not a great idea. Also, so that basically just leaves you, and you got Thanksgiving, and long weekends aren't really going to work for you. Like Martin Luther King weekend or something like that. So I would really go with summertime. And if I were you, I'm thinking June. Is that what you said, Annette? June?
Yeah, June. I mean, we've seen room-only discounts that you can attach packages to for June, July, and into August. Yeah, they always do free dining in August, late August, because they know kids are going back to school, So you might not get that free dining, but there are some other discounts that are out there that, a good discount on a room is not a bad deal.
So, Scopo, let's end this here. Bob's coming to you, asked this question to you. What time of year are you telling him to go that you think is going to get him the best deal, given the options that he has?
I think that one of the things that Annette said is the first thing that I thought of, and this one in Dolphin, teacher discounts. I know people who have used them, and that's the only time that's the only place they go, because they think that's the best deal they can get. I think that being a teacher, limits what you can do. You're limited to maybe February, April, the months of, June, July, and August. I think that if I had a choice, if I was a teacher, I'd try to sneak in towards the end of August if I could, when they have the value season, like around mid-August. But if that was not something that I could do, and I needed to be in school, the kids needed to be there for football practice or whatever, I'd probably opt for sometime early summer, and I'd go for those teacher discounts at the Swan and Dolphin.
Very good. Well, that's going to do it for us. Don't forget, this episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by Mouse Fan Travel. That's right. Free dining is back, and they can help you plan it. Even if you can't go to free dining. Maybe you're like Bob and say, hey, I can't take advantage of free dining as much as I would love to. You know what? The travel agents at AMI Mouse Fan Travel can help work with you to figure out the best package for you, the best date, the best options can work for you. They're going to do all the numbers. They're going to run through them and let you know what the best option is. And again, they're going to do all that work. And the best part, it's free to you. That's right. They're not going to charge you anything extra for that. You're going to pay the cheapest price possible, which is perfect for Bob and his cheapskate wife. And that way you guys take advantage of it.
Wow.
We love you, Bob, and your wife. We mean that very, nicely. Check them out. mousefantravel.com.
Was he the guy that listened to missed only 8 episodes?
Yep.
Well, that's that.
Sorry.
Thanks for tuning in, Bob. See you sometime.
If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and the fabulous Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.